Yesterday, Max Verstappen refused to drive the RB22. Hydraulic failure. Garage doors closed. Cameras everywhere. Doubt creeping in. 24 hours later, he steps out of the car and tells Laurent Mekies something that changed everything inside Red Bull. The car is predictable. That single word is terrifying. Because in Bahrain, while Ferrari chased one-lap glory, Verstappen ran a 15-lap stint on medium tires, holding 1 minute 37 pace with barely any drop-off. Just a few tenths of variation, while rivals degraded after 8 laps. And here's the part nobody expected. Telemetry suggests he set his fastest lap with more fuel than Ferrari, which means Red Bull wasn't showing everything. So what exactly did Max reveal about the RB22? Why did his body language shift from frustration to total confidence in less than a day? And does this mean Red Bull has quietly built another Sunday weapon while everyone else focused on Saturday headlines? Subscribe now. Because what Verstappen said in Bahrain might have already decided how this season unfolds. To understand why that word matters so much, we need to go back to the moment everything almost went wrong. Day 1 in Bahrain did not look like dominance. It looked fragile. The RB22 suffered a hydraulic issue early in the session. The car rolled back into the garage. Engineers surrounded it. Screens filled with diagnostic data. Max took off his helmet. And he made a decision. He refused to continue. Not because the lap time was slow, but because the car did not feel right. That detail is critical. Pre-season testing is limited. Every lap is valuable. Most drivers push through minor issues just to collect data. Max did the opposite. He protected the integrity of the platform. That tells you something about Red Bull's mindset. They are not chasing mileage. They are building precision. Overnight, the team rebuilt the system. Not patched. Rebuilt. Hydraulic lines checked. Pressure maps recalibrated. Fail-safe protocols reviewed. By the next afternoon, the car returned to the track. Calmly. Quietly. And this is where the shift began. The first runs were measured. Installation laps. Balance checks. No headline numbers. But if you watched closely, the car looked planted. No bouncing under braking. No instability in direction changes. And then came the soft compound run. 1 minute 31.720. A time similar to Ferrari's benchmark. But here's the crucial detail. Telemetry suggests heavier fuel load, which means the lap time alone does not tell the story. It suggests margin, hidden pace. But the real revelation came later. The long run. 15 laps on the medium compound. Consistent pace between 1 minute 37.6 and 1 minute 37.9. Lap after lap. While other teams began to see degradation after 8 or 9 laps, the RB22 remained steady. The variation across the entire stint was just a few tenths. That level of consistency is not normal. It is engineered stability. And when Max stepped out of the car afterward, the frustration from the previous day was gone. His body language was different. Relaxed shoulders. Direct eye contact with engineers. Clear feedback. He said the car reacts properly to changes. It does not surprise him mid-corner. It does not shift unpredictably under braking. It gives him confidence. And in Formula 1, confidence unlocks aggression. Now connect that to what Red Bull revealed technically. The aggressive aerodynamic package introduced deeper sculpted side pods, smaller inlets, a tighter engine cover. Cooling efficiency appears strong. The Ford power unit is reportedly running significantly cooler than rivals. That allows tighter bodywork, less drag, better airflow to the rear. Then the revised front wing. A subtle scoop in the central section. Reshaped flap geometry. Designed to maintain load when the car pitches forward under braking. Which explains why Max can attack braking zones without hesitation. And under the floor, new vortex generators help seal airflow from front tire turbulence. Protecting the diffuser. Stabilizing high-speed corners. Everything points toward one philosophy. Control. The RB22 is not flashy. It is not designed to dominate a single qualifying lap. It is designed to maintain rhythm over a full race distance. And that is exactly what Verstappen revealed between the lines. He is not excited about one lap speed. He is confident in race pace. And that difference is enormous. Because championships are not won on Saturday. They are won on Sunday. So when Max tells Mekies the car is predictable, he is not just describing handling. He is describing a foundation. A platform that can evolve. A base that engineers can build upon. And when a driver feels that alignment this early in preseason testing, it sends a message to the entire grid. Red Bull is not scrambling. They are calculating. The only question now is whether Ferrari's single-lap sharpness can compensate for Red Bull's long-run consistency. Because if Bahrain race day becomes a battle of tire management and strategic patience, the RB22 may already have the upper hand. And that realization is what truly surprised the paddock. But now we need to talk about what truly shocked Mekies. Because it was not just the lap times. It was what Max said about the balance window. According to paddock sources, Verstappen told the team that the RB22 operates in a wide setup range. That might sound technical. It is not. It is decisive. A wide setup window means the car performs consistently even when track conditions change. Hotter asphalt, stronger wind, different fuel loads. The balance does not collapse. And in Bahrain, that matters more than almost anywhere else. The desert temperature drops quickly in the evening session. Grip evolves. Rear tires suffer. If a car has a narrow balance window, it becomes unpredictable as conditions shift. But the RB22 appears stable across those variations. That gives engineers flexibility. And flexibility gives strategic freedom. Now connect that to the long-run data. The car was not just consistent. It was gentle on rear degradation. While rivals began sliding slightly at corner exit after several laps, the Red Bull maintained traction. No visible snap. No overheating spikes. This is where the Ford power unit's smooth energy deployment becomes crucial. There was no aggressive clipping at the end of straights. Power delivery remained linear. That protects rear tires under acceleration. And over a 57-lap race distance in Bahrain, that protection compounds. 2 laps longer on a stint. Cleaner undercut windows. Less traffic risk. That is how races flip quietly. And here is something even more important. Max did not complain about front-end instability. He did not ask for dramatic setup changes between runs. His feedback was incremental. Minor adjustments. Fine-tuning. That is a sign of confidence. When drivers lack trust, feedback becomes reactive. When they trust the platform, feedback becomes precise. That difference shapes development. Now imagine the internal Red Bull debrief. Hydraulic issue resolved. Aggressive aero package validated. Long run pace confirmed. Driver confidence high. That is not damage control. That is momentum. But there is still tension. Ferrari appears sharp over 1 lap. Their low fuel performance looks strong. That could mean pole position advantage. And clean air in Bahrain is powerful. So the question becomes strategic. Can Red Bull accept starting behind Ferrari, knowing their strength lies in tire life and race rhythm? History suggests yes. Because Verstappen thrives in pressure situations. He does not panic when chasing. He calculates. And if the RB22 truly maintains degradation better than its rivals, he will attack when others begin to struggle. That is what Mekies likely realized during those conversations. This is not a fragile car recovering from a testing scare. It is a composed machine designed for Sunday warfare. And perhaps the most telling detail of all is this. After the long run, there was no celebration in the Red Bull garage. No dramatic reaction. Just quiet nods. Engineers focused on screens. Calm. Almost satisfied. That calmness reveals belief. Because dominant teams do not react loudly in testing. They observe. They refine. They wait. So what Verstappen revealed was not just confidence. It was clarity. The RB22 is stable. It responds to changes. It preserves its tires. It operates within a forgiving window. And most importantly, it allows him to push without fear. In Formula 1, that combination is rare. And when it appears this early in preseason, it usually means one thing. The foundation is strong. Now the only uncertainty left is whether anyone else has something hidden that can disrupt this balance before the first lights go out in Bahrain. Because if this is just the starting version of the RB22, the rest of the grid may already be reacting to a car built not for headlines, but for championships. But here is where the story becomes even more unsettling for the rest of the grid. Because what Verstappen revealed was not just about performance. It was about ceiling. During the internal debrief, Max reportedly suggested that the RB22 still has margin left. Not in a dramatic way. Not claiming hidden tenths everywhere. But in the way he described the balance. He implied the car was not yet fully optimized. That is a dangerous statement in preseason testing. Because if this level of long-run consistency is coming from a car that is still being fine-tuned, then the development curve is pointing upward. And remember something critical. Red Bull did not reveal the full aggressive package on the first morning. They waited. They observed competitors. They evaluated Ferrari's single-lap approach. Then they introduced their more sculpted side pods, revised front-wing geometry, and updated floor detailing. That timing is strategic. You do not show your full hand until you understand the table. And once the package was fully installed, the car's behavior became clearer. Stable in braking zones. Composed in direction changes. Minimal pitch sensitivity. That last detail matters enormously. Because under braking, many ground effect cars lose aerodynamic load when the chassis dives forward. That forces drivers to hesitate. The RB22 appears to maintain its load more consistently, which explains why Verstappen can brake so late without instability. And when a driver of his precision feels that stability, he begins to experiment. He pushes braking points. He varies lines. He tests traction thresholds. And according to those watching closely in Bahrain, that is exactly what he was doing in the final runs. Not defending the car. Exploring it. That distinction is huge. Because exploration means confidence. Now let's widen the lens. Ferrari may have the edge over one qualifying lap. Their low drag efficiency and corner entry sharpness look impressive. If they secure pole in Bahrain, clean air becomes an advantage. But race strategy is not just about track position. It is about degradation curves. And the data so far suggests Red Bull's degradation curve is flatter. That means less pace drop-off as fuel burns down. Less sliding in the second half of a stint. And in hot conditions, that advantage amplifies. Now imagine this scenario. Ferrari leads into the first stint. Red Bull stays within striking distance. By lap 12 or 13, rear grip begins to fade slightly for the leader. Verstappen maintains rhythm. Pressure builds. The undercut window opens. Strategy calls become aggressive. And suddenly the race dynamic shifts. That is how championships are shaped quietly. Not through dramatic overtakes, but through consistency and patience. And this is what truly surprised Mekies. Because from the outside, the RB22 did not look revolutionary. It looked refined. Disciplined. But what Max revealed internally is that refinement may be its greatest weapon. There is no nervous edge. No dramatic handling flaw. No desperate correction phase. It feels complete. And complete cars win titles. Still, there is one shadow that lingers. Reliability. The hydraulic issue on day one cannot simply be forgotten. Even if resolved, it exposed complexity. And complexity can return unexpectedly over a long season. Red Bull knows this. They are not celebrating. They are cautious. But caution combined with confidence is powerful. Because it prevents complacency. So where does this leave us as preseason testing continues in Bahrain? The RB22 has shown strong race pace. Exceptional tire preservation. A stable aerodynamic platform. A power unit running efficiently. And a driver who appears fully aligned with the machine. Ferrari may still hold the one-lap advantage. Politics and innovation battles are unfolding elsewhere. But if you listen carefully to what Verstappen revealed, the real message is simple. Red Bull did not build a car to impress in testing. They built a car to control races. And if that control translates from simulation to race weekend, the rest of the grid may already be chasing something that is only going to get stronger. The final piece we are waiting for is simple. What happens when both cars run full qualifying modes, equal fuel, maximum deployment, under real race pressure? Because if the RB22 still looks this composed when nothing is being hidden, then what Max revealed in Bahrain will not just be interesting. It will be decisive.